All right, Nick, let's talk about the Southern Cal Trojans. We've been talking about the upgrades and, the really big change of pace for the defensive side of the ball for the Trojans all offseason. They're putting a lot of resources into it, they're putting a lot of recruiting power into it, and that doesn't change at all, not even today, Nick, because they've made another huge move on the defensive side of the ball that I think Trojans fans are going to love.
Yeah, Miles, I think the Trojans are doing a lot of things really right this offseason to fix that side of the ball. But before we get into that report, USC fans, got to ask you a question. I want you to answer in the comment section below. This is going to be a really hard one. Who is your favorite defensive back in Trojans history? And look, there's been a lot of great ones. You can go back to the 80s and 70s. You can go back in recent memory. Heck, you can go back to last season. Maybe not last season. They weren't so good. But how about this? Give me your favorite USC Trojan defensive back of all time. However long you've been a fan, give us your favorite in the comment section below. But all right, Miles, what you got? What's this news with the USC Trojans?
Yeah, Nick, I think Trojan fans are going to like this season one way or the other because it's going to go one of two ways. Either they've added all of this defensive help and Grinch keeps his job and shows that he has the adequate tools, he can be a good D coordinator, or they have all of this help on the side of the ball, they do poorly, and they get rid of Grinch and get a better defensive coordinator who can help boost these guys
Good
up.
point.
But nonetheless, they have made another absolutely massive transfer portal steal here, Nick. I'm going to get into the article. Uh, Former Alabama corner Traquan Fagans tells me he has committed to Southern Cal. This is per Hayes Fawcett over off of Twitter. The number 9 available player in the portal, number 2 cornerback in the portal, will have 4 years of eligibility remaining. The Trojans continue to add talent on the defensive side of the ball. Well, Nick, this is huge because we all know Alabama has had a great defense. They're able to steal a guy coming into Alabama who was a huge talent out of high school. He was also going from Alabama as well, but a 4-star coming out of high school. A lot of talent here. Great size for a young guy. He's 6'1", 180. He looks to be like an elite level talent. And coming over to Southern Cal after he gets coached up at Alabama a little bit, can come into this defense and be an absolute world beater. Alabama's known for having tons of great eyes for corner talent. You think all the way back to, NFL guys like Marlon Humphrey, who played at Alabama, really, really great player there as well. So I think this is a huge steal for the Trojans to snatch this guy out of the portal and get him to come over to Southern Cal. I think it's going to be a big, big benefit for the team this season. What are your thoughts so far on Fagans coming to Southern Cal?
Yeah, obviously it's a good addition in an area of need. And look, we've talked a lot of ways that the other USC, Southern Cal has gotten a lot better on the defensive side of the football. Some of it is guys coming back from injuries. Some of it's some good recruits. There's a lot of good transfers going in. But I want to focus on the transfer portal here for a sec, because we've heard a lot this offseason about the incredible or sometimes controversial job that Deion Sanders has done at Colorado. And if you look at the 24/7 Sports transfer portal class of 2023 rankings, it makes sense. Colorado is number 1. Their score and average, they got, I'm sorry, not an average, their score of how 24/7 Sports does it gives them an 89.2 ranking in the 2023 transfer portal class. That's pretty good. That's number 1 overall. But right behind them at 82.4 is the University of is USC, right? So again, to me, that shows how good of a job Lincoln Riley is doing in the transfer game. He did it last offseason, but then again, that was kind of a different environment. Obviously, he was coming from Oklahoma. He had a lot of guys there he could bring with him. It was a lot of momentum and energy. Now it's in year 2. A lot of that momentum and energy is transferred to the other new guy. It's Deion Sanders. And he is, in terms of Lincoln Riley, is still able to bring in transfers that he needs to fill out his roster. And one of the things I'm pointing out and give Lincoln Riley a lot of credit is that Colorado is number 1, but they have 38 commits in the 2023 transfer class. USC at number 2 has 14 commits. So if you remove Colorado's just scary amount of numbers, USC has clearly the number 1 transfer portal class in 2023. And that is absolutely outstanding from Lincoln Riley, because we all know with Caleb Williams in this offense, this team is college football playoff bound, contending for national championship. They just need a few key additions, most likely in the short term, to push them over the hump. And getting guys in the transfer portal, it's like free agency in the NFL. It's short-term additions, could be long-term, could be the whole career, but it's a short-term addition, a guy you're hoping to plug in right away to be a big-time playmaker. And I think that's exactly what Southern Cal thinks they're going to get from a lot of these guys, this corner from Alabama specifically. So I love this move from Southern Cal, but I think from a larger perspective, we got to give a lot of credit to Lincoln Riley for everything he's done this offseason in the transfer portal.
Yeah, Nick, and I also like the way he's going about it because he's adding a lot of transfer portal guys, which is very important for this season because this is going to be Caleb Williams' last season at Southern Cal. Obviously, elite level quarterback. This is the year they need to try to make the playoffs. They need to go win the college football playoffs. This is the year they got to do it. And we have talked about this all the time. That leads to bigger implications down the road. If they can even make it to the playoffs, if they can make it to the college football playoff championship game, guys are going to see the school. They're going to see the turnaround. They're going to want to come to Southern Cal, and getting a transfer portal guy helping to boost up the defense, bolster their defensive side of the ball to help them get there, because the offense is good enough to get there. They need to work on the defense. They get the defense there, then recruits from all around the country are going to come join Southern Cal. So I think this is a really brilliant move. I hope it pays off for them. But I don't see why it wouldn't, because they have added a ton of talent on the defensive side of the